Coming up tonight on KPBS Evening Edition, San Diego City Attorney says there is a giant legal roadblock in the way of expanding the convention center.
And the county says it's in talks with the city of San Diego about helping pay for a new Charger stadium. KPBS Evening Edition starts now.
Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Joanne Farian.
I'm Dwayne Brown.
Federal health officials say California cannot force Medi-Cal recipients to shell out co-payments for doctor visits and prescription drugs. It's a blow for Governor Jerry Brown, who had hoped to save $511 million a year by requiring co-pays for low-income patients. Officials with the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services say they cannot find legal or policy support for charging those fees. A long-awaited ruling on California's same-sex marriage ban will be handed down tomorrow. A federal appeals court will decide whether to uphold a lower court ruling declaring the ban unconstitutional. The 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals heard oral arguments over Proposition 8 more than a year ago. Its ruling was delayed over questions of whether Proposition 8 supporters could defend it in court. But no matter what the appeals court rules tomorrow, both sides promise to take the case all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court.
A federal judge in San Diego is considering the first possible case to determine whether animals should be given the same constitutional protection against slavery as people. It follows a lawsuit filed in October against SeaWorld in San Diego and Orlando, Florida. The People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, wants the parks to release 5 of their orcas, or killer whales. Jeff Kerr is general counsel for PETA. He says denying these animals freedom goes against the 13th Amendment prohibiting slavery.
And the way in which we treat animals in our culture is the next frontier of civil rights for these other beings who are capable of feeling and are entitled to the protection in their own right.
SeaWorld released this statement saying the effort to extend the 13th Amendment's solemn protections beyond human beings is baseless and in many ways offensive. SeaWorld is among the world's most respected zoological institutions. There's no higher priority than the welfare of the animals entrusted to our care, and no facility sets higher standards. End of quote. The federal judge in the case says he'll rule on the motion soon. As we have been reporting for the past couple of weeks, the city of San Diego wants to impose a hotel occupancy tax to pay for an expanded convention center, but the legality of that law is now up in the air. Joanne speaks with the city's top legal official at the Evening Edition Roundtable.
The city of San Diego wants to spend $520 million to expand the convention center downtown. It plans to pay for most of it by charging tourists as much as a 3% tax on their hotel stay. But in California, a tax is never really just a tax. Joining me to talk about whether this new tax needs to go to a public vote is San Diego City Attorney Jan Goldsmith. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure.
So this tax is expected to raise about $13 million a year. Right now, only hotel owners are scheduled to vote on this. What is it in our Constitution and the law that says that may not be legal? It may have to go to a greater public vote.
Well, Proposition 13, that's what it is. It's in our Constitution, and it says before you impose a tax or you increase taxes, you put it up to a vote of the qualified voters, and the people are supposed to vote on it.
Two-thirds majority, right?
Two-thirds majority.
So I want to play a clip for you from our January 25th show. Now, this is Steve Cushman. As you know, he's the liaison to the mayor on this convention center expansion. And I just want to set it up. So the question that he is responding to, I ask him, I say, some say the new tax may not be legal. Now, here's his response.
We believe, using the Melrose tax basis, that it is 100% legal. Obviously, there will be a validation action. The city has said that they will do, so everybody will have an opportunity to go to court, and somebody in a black robe will say, yes, it's okay, or no, it isn't. We believe that it will hold up, and it will hold up in court.
Melrose, which is why some of us pay additional taxes to live in certain neighborhoods. So I want to pick up on the term 100% legal. Does that language surprise you?
Yes, actually it does, but I've been getting this feedback, and I don't want to pick on Steve, but around town, that this is a done deal. And we have never said that. From day one, we've said, hey, there's a Proposition 13 issue here. And the response is that this structure was used up in San Jose. Now, what is the structure? The structure normally for a tax increase is that you put it to a vote of all the public, in a public vote of all the voters in San Diego. Here, it's a little different. It's only hotel properties. And so the tax would be on hotel properties, and they're the ones who vote, and then you get 2/3 of that approval, and there's a tax. It borrows a little bit from Mello-Roos, but it's not exactly Mello-Roos. It's different, and there's a way the taxes are calculated based upon number of units or rent. Collection of from the hotel renters. It's a little different than San Jose, but San Jose did have a similar plan, and the similar plan was approved by a judge. And so the proponents said, we think we can do this in San Diego. In fact, they brought down the San Jose lawyer. He's from San Francisco, but he did that project. And we asked him, well, about the project and all that, and we did our own legal research. And the lawyer said, when we asked, can you give us a legal opinion, he said, no, I'm going to give you a legal opinion. We're not going to give an opinion as to legality. And then we did our research, and we said, well, neither will we, because we either give opinions yes, no, or maybe. This is a maybe. It was approved in San Jose by a judge, but there wasn't any opposition. A lot of issues weren't raised. And down here, we already have lawyers who are raising those issues. We've been very clear that this is one of those maybe issues, so that it's unclear.
I want to step in here because you say, first, a couple things. Lawyers who raising those issues. We know that we even spoke with the head of the union representing the hotel workers. They're one group that says, hey, we possibly may sue. Also, I know that you sent out this last week, it's a response saying that you are filing a validation. You can finish that term for me. About It's a legal process, right? A lawsuit to find out.
We sent out this update. This is our newsletter. We send it out about once a week or so on issues that we think are interesting. It doesn't contain really new matter. It just puts an exclamation point on something that we think is being lost. And in this case, we came out very clearly and said this is one of those maybes. The law is not clear. The plan is to file a validation lawsuit in which we take this plan and we put it before a judge before we raise taxes and say, is this legal? They did that in San Jose. There was no opposition. The judge approved it. In San Diego, there's going to be, according to what they've said, opposition. And it's going to be up to the judge. I've been in that black robe that Steve has talked about, and I've heard validation actions, and I've done my own research with my research attorney, and I've given opinions. It will be the same thing in this situation. I wanted to make sure, and our office wanted to make sure, that people understand and that we don't get this misinformation out there. And it's not just from Steve, but others. Oh, this is a done deal. It's not. People should go in this with their eyes open. We are looking at we're testing the boundaries of the law.
When will you have, though, the result of this?
Well, it's another thing we point out. This is lawsuits, and things don't happen quickly. We will likely file the validation action in May, and if there's opposition, then it will be briefed. There'll be hearings. There'll be decisions. There'll be continuances. The validation action in San Jose, the decision was reached in about a year after the plan was approved.
We haven't got a lot of time left.
Opposition.
Okay, we have not got a lot of time left, but I just want to get this on the record now that the hotel owners are voting in April. This is the mayor's final year in office. There seems to be this sort of path that we're going to get this done. If we don't hear from this for a year, finally, what happens? Can they start this project before they hear the result of that validation lawsuit?
No. We're testing the boundaries of the law. We're not going to violate the law. I'm okay with my client testing the boundaries of the law, but we're not going to go so far as to collect taxes and start building. No way. However, there's an easier way to do it, and we pointed out in our update. I mean,
go to the people.
We are not saying this is illegal.
Yeah.
We're saying it's a maybe, and we're willing to test it. But if you want something that's reliable and legally reliable, then you go to the people like any other tax under Prop 13.
We'll have to leave it there. Jan Goldsmith, thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Proponents of a Tax the Rich initiative are launching a petition drive to get it on the ballot. The millionaire's tax of 2012 would be imposed on people earning $1 million or more a year. Supporters of the measure include the California Teachers Federation. They say most of the revenue would go to education. This measure is separate from Governor Jerry Brown's proposal. He wants to raise taxes on anyone making more than $250,000 a year. San Diego voters may have two pension reform measures to choose from. A look at those in just a moment. Also coming up, concerns about San Diego's teachers union from people who say it's changed, but not for the better. And later, could the county get involved in the debate over a new Charger stadium? This is KPBS Evening Edition.
Tonight on KPBS at 8 on the final Antiques Roadshow from Eugene, Oregon. Highlights include a playful pair of beautifully preserved tin toys and a jeweled gold Moretto. Then at 9, the final show from Houston, Texas finds the roadshow at the Houston Space Center for a briefing on NASA collectibles. And at 10 on Himalaya with Michael Palin, Michael's epic journey takes him to Bhutan, where he's entertained by members of the royal family. That's all tonight on KPBS.
I'm Jeffrey Brown. On the next NewsHour, a newsmaker interview with House Speaker John Boehner. That's Monday on the PBS NewsHour.
The American people have named PBS
the most trusted source of news and public affairs for the 8th year in a row. Trust. The American people have spoken.
Thank you.
KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Irwin Jacobs and by
San Diego Unified School District is facing a tough task with a budget deficit that could top $120 million next year. And some former members of the teachers union say hardline union leadership could make things even tougher. Will Carlos has been covering this story for Voice of San Diego. He joins us from the KPBS News Center. Will, you heard from some people who used to work at the teachers union. They say they're concerned about the direction the union is taking. What are they specifically worried about here?
Well, the main complaint is that they're worried that the union's become sort of increasingly hard line. It doesn't want to engage in discussions even with the district, and that's what they're concerned about. And also that the union has been sort of trumpeting a certain viewpoint for a few years now, which is that you can't trust the district, that you can't trust the numbers, that they're lying about the problems that they're in, and that there are really sort of secret piles of money hidden away. And a few people who used to work at the union and have left recently are concerned that that's really not helping.
Now, doesn't the district always seem to come up with these panic numbers, and don't they always come out okay?
Well, that's exacerbating the problem, because that's absolutely right. I mean, over the last few years, the district's sort of come out with these panic scenarios that all these people are going to be laid off, and then when everything transpires, actually a few people, a few hundred people have been laid off, but not in the sort of more than 1,000 that are the numbers that keep getting thrown out. So that's really added to this distrust, I guess, between the union and the district. The thing is that the people I spoke to said, look, that was in the past. Things are getting better now. They're getting better at managing their numbers, and we should be having an ongoing dialogue.
Now, the teachers union represents about 8,000 members. How has it changed its stance, or what is it that it wasn't doing before that it's apparently doing now? Well,
I guess before, a few years ago, the district leadership used to meet regularly with the superintendent. They'd be in his office every month, every single month for years and years. They met, they had these monthly meetings where they'd discuss things informally. That doesn't happen anymore. The district staff used to meet with union staff on a weekly basis to sort of sort out informally personnel matters that were happening, and that doesn't happen anymore. They were banned from doing that by the union leadership in 2008. And then, the union's dropped out of committees with other unions, and of course it's also not engaging as much with the media as it used to. It's sort of controlling its message very tightly, won't let its members talk to people like you and me.
And quickly here, Will, any word from the union about this story?
None at all. I mean, they wouldn't talk to me before the story. They won't. I'm pretty sure they won't talk to me now that the story's come out. It's a shame. I'd like to talk to them.
All right. Will Carlos with the Voice of San Diego. San Diego voters will weigh in on whether city workers' base pay will be frozen for 5 years. Joanne takes that issue up and the pension question at the Evening Edition Roundtable.
San Diegans will see one pension reform measure on the June ballot, but there's a possibility another option could be placed on the ballot as well. KPBS Metro reporter Katie Orr joins me now to explain more. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Joanne.
So explain the difference between these two measures.
Well, the measure that voters will see for sure eliminates pensions for most new hires, excluding police officers, and it caps base pay for all current employees for 5 years. The other measure that is just being proposed would still cap base pay, but it would not eliminate pensions. It would just cap them so that the highest they could go is just under $100,000.
And so when you say eliminate it, they'd have the 401k style pension instead of a city pension?
They would have a city pension. The measure on the ballot now would eliminate pensions and switch them to a 401k style system. The new measure that is being proposed would maintain pensions as we know them today, but again, limit them at just under $100,000.
So who's proposing this cap and freeze?
It's being proposed by Councilman David Alvarez, and really he says this is just about giving voters a choice.
This is really about giving people a choice. Do you think that it's better to go this way and having to spend almost $100 million to go to this new benefit? Or should we go the other approach where we know it's not going to cost us money and we can go forward with real reforms that are actually cap and limit our liability?
So now, what do the supporters of the 401k style pension option have to say about this?
Well, predictably, they're not fans of Alvarez's proposal, and they argue that the 401k style would actually save money in the short run and in the long term. They dispute those costs. Council member Carl DeMaio is really backing the 401k plan, and he says Alvarez's plan is just more of the same.
It's quite clear that their measure is not about reform, but about preserving the existing pension program for government employees. So I'm very unconcerned about the idea that politicians are going to collude with unions to put their own measure on the ballot. So what? We've got the citizens' measure, the one that actually was put on by the people and is supported by the people because it's real reform.
What are the chances that this second option would even make it on the ballot?
Well, it's not clear. They need 5 council votes to get it on the ballot, and there are 5 Democrats on the council. However, some of them might not be in great political positions to back Alvarez's proposal, and there are also indications that the public strongly supports the 401k option, so some council members might not want to back an alternative that doesn't have a lot of chance at success.
Now, you've been speaking with people in the community. You've been covering this issue for a long time. What are you hearing?
Well, again, people want pension reform. I don't know that they're necessarily sure of what form that should take or what that means, but they're tired of hearing all about this pension. We spoke to a couple people on the streets of downtown San Diego about it.
They need to do a lot more, a long time ago. They definitely need to reform the pensions going forward, but unfortunately I don't think there's anything they can do going back because they've already promised that money. So the people who worked for it and were promised it deserve it.
I'm not quite sure on that. I have friends that are on the police force, and I think they should, I guess, keep as far as the police force and public service the same because in their line of work of duty, they could get injured or something and they have more protection.
Well, we're going to have to follow and see what happens if this actually makes it on the ballot. KPBS reporter Katie Orr.
Thank you.
A Charger Stadium, food stamps, and freeway call boxes. We'll be talking with the chairman of the County Board of Supervisors about all these things in just a moment. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
What a squandering of talent and possibility.
Tonight has made Bill Clinton the comeback kid.
A definitive look at the man and the president. Clinton on American Experience. Monday, February 20th at 9, only on PBS.
Throughout its 50-year history, KPBS's news and public affairs programs have challenged conventional thinking. We're investigating issues before they reach a crisis. Our world is much more than just today's headlines, and KPBS helps all of us explore what's next so that we can take action now.
Tuesday at 10 on KPBS.
San Diego County is in the middle of a building boom, paying cash for many of its new office facilities. Could a new Charger Stadium be next on the list? Joanne speaks with the new chair of the Board of Supervisors at the Evening Edition Roundtable.
He has been a county supervisor for 18 years, and before that, a San Diego City Council member for 2 terms. Supervisor Ron Roberts, chair of the San Diego County Board of Supervisors, joins me now for a sneak peek of the State of the County address he will deliver this Wednesday. Thank you so much for being here.
Nice to be with you.
I want to get to the state of the county, but first, you can't escape the stadium debate these days. We hear a lot of elected officials talking about a regional solution, and one might assume that means they want money from the county. Where do you stand on this?
Well, first of all, everybody wants money from the county, but Supervisor Jacob and I, along with Mayor Sanders, have been meeting quietly on this for almost 3 years maybe now to look at what are the options. How can we bring forth to the taxpayers of the whole region a really solid plan? And I would remind you, it was this partnership that put the original stadium in Mission Valley together, what is known as Qualcomm today. But in the 60s that was built. It was a partnership between the City of San Diego and the County of San Diego. There's reason to cooperate. I would like to see this happen because there's a lot of benefit that could be brought well beyond just the Chargers if we do this right.
So can you give us a hint? I mean, is it quite literally county money that would go into this project?
Well, we are looking at how that could happen. We're going to be presented with some actual financial information within the next couple weeks, and we don't have the details of it now. We're looking at how does perhaps a stadium generate revenues that we don't have today that we could then take and plow back into getting a stadium built. So it's like taking something, you create value, and you use that value to create the thing you want, in this case, a stadium.
Now, there was some debate generated a couple weeks ago about a proposal put forth by the UT San Diego, Doug Manchester, John Lynch, new owners of the paper, and this was really a massive development. It was a new stadium, an arena, and also more convention center space along the waterfront. I know you're an architect. I know you have a keen interest in our waterfront. What did you think of that proposal?
Well, I'll be honest. I was excited about this. Now, this is it's a conceptual idea, and I see a lot of people kind of nitpicking over it, but it isn't to the point where you should be looking at big picture. Their big picture is if we put it there, you can surround it with enhanced public spaces, park-like spaces. You can include and get better utilization out of your facility by making it closer and far more accessible for convention-related activities, and you can marry it to an expanded convention center. There's a lot to like in this, and I have a lot of friends in the hotel-motel industry, and I know they've expressed some concerns. They say all the space has to be contiguous. I was at a conference in Orlando this past year. Orlando has the second largest convention facilities in the country, and they're separated by almost a quarter mile apart. I think this deserves a real airing. I want to make sure that we don't get so locked in that we destroy the opportunity to get a stadium, but I think that this proposal really deserves to be heard.
Now, I want to switch topics to food stamps because, as you know, you've been a supervisor for a long time here. Your administration took a lot of heat for low participation rates in terms of food stamp participation. Back in 2006, the number was about 83,000. I think we ranked last in a survey of large cities. It's increased. It's actually now, in 2006, it was 83,000 participants. Now that number's grown to 236,000. Increase of it's almost doubled, 185%. Also, though, according to the Food Research Action Center, only 40% of income-eligible households in San Diego County still get the benefits. So you've made a lot of progress, but still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, and I wouldn't argue with that at all. You know, Supervisor Cox and I put together a working group to say, how do we get this system to be far more efficient and be able to reach the people in a far greater way? Your numbers, and I wasn't aware of that number. I know in the last 2 years, we've 65% increase, and in fact, November to December last year, in 1 month, we saw a 9% increase. We have changed dramatically how we can qualify people, the number of places, how we can reach them, and we're seeing the results. We've added a lot of new employees to make this happen, and we've still got a lot of things that we need to do. So we're not at the end, but I think we're clearly going in the right direction. People who are eligible should have an opportunity, and we would like to see them avail themselves.
I have one last question on the record, a yes or a no. Assemblyman mayoral candidate Nathan Fletcher introduced legislation last week that would put a hold on the $1 registration fee collected for the Safe the Call Box program because there's a $12 million surplus. Do you support that legislation, yes or no?
No, I don't. The future of motorist aid is going to require that we have some significant dollars to invest in San Diego. And it's funny, whenever we have a governmental agency that works good, the state wants to take the money.
Okay, Supervisor Ron Roberts, thanks for being here.
Nice to see you.
Tonight in our public square, you heard what San Diego City Attorney Jan Goldsmith had to say about the proposed hotel tax. The surest legal way of approving that new tax is to put a vote to the people. The proposal would charge tourists an extra 1 to 3% on their hotel bill, depending on how far away they're staying from the downtown convention center. Now, do you want a say on this tax, or should it be only up to hotel owners? Let me know, yes or no, and why. Write to me at jferrian@kpbs.org, or you can follow us on Twitter or like us on Facebook and leave your comment there as well. And now let's go back to the news desk where Dwayne has a recap of tonight's top stories.
Tomorrow morning, a federal appeals court will issue its ruling on the constitutionality of Proposition 8, California's ban on same-sex marriage. A lower court has already overturned the measure. No matter what the ruling, both sides in the case say they will take it to the U.S. Supreme Court. And a federal judge in San Diego is considering arguments about the civil rights of killer whales. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA, says SeaWorld's whales are treated like slaves. SeaWorld says the case has no merit. You can watch and comment on any of the stories you saw tonight on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. You have a great night. We leave you with a look at some sprinkles in the forecast.